Chapter 13. You versus you. At every party with 100 people, there's probably a psychopath there and he's looking for weakness. James Fallon, the psychopath inside K. Here's a worthy enemy. Spotting another sociopath is experiencing love not unlike at first sight, except less pleasant. There is all the recognition and heightened awareness, but it's more like strolling across the veldt and spotting the lion. And he's staring at you. You begin to wonder, can two psychopaths be allies? Do you let on to one another who you really are? Can you cooperate? Ever? The answer is yes sometimes, but in all likelihood, you aren't going to get along well at all. There are 3 things you can do when you meet another sociopath. The first is to quit right away. The second is to avoid him aggressively. The third is to partner up, just be very careful. Tech startups and outlaw motorcycle gangs are places where multiple sociopaths can stitch together for a while. But remember, when it goes south, you could be looking at a very malevolent face-off. You're the one who thought psychopaths were so interesting. They get tiresome after a while, don't you think? Martin McDonough, 7 Psychopaths Carl Jung said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." During an original Knight Rider episode when Kit is opposing his nemesis car, another supposedly indestructible automobile, Kit asks, "What happens when an indestructible object hits an immovable object?" During a game of chicken, car swerves off a bridge, hits a giant rock and explodes. Question answered. Going head-to-head with another sociopath is kind of like this. It seems impossible, but one of you is going to give somehow. So focus on shoring up your position. Before you jump to the both of us can't live conclusion, investigate your alternatives.
Hide your hand. Like you, your opponent has neither unlimited self-control nor infinite energy to expend on his psychopathic manipulations. Your best chance when the attack comes is to understand his methods without drawing attention to yourself. Make yourself as small as you can. Psychologist Robert Hare, working with fellow researcher Paul Babiak, showed that the ability to recognize psychopathic manipulation is increased if you are not seen as valuable or a threat to the psychopath, because he's not expending energy in order to fool you. The key to effective sparring with another sociopath is knowing when to start. Before you call it, you have the benefit of his relative inattention in which to prepare. Once you bring up the challenge, it's on, and you're going to be in constant danger. Show tenacity. Once your fellow sociopath is onto you, you must remain vigilant, no matter what. Ken Kesey expresses this very well in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a great depiction of a sociopath-on-sociopath battle. I thought for a minute there I saw her whipped. Maybe I did, but I see now that it don't make any difference. To beat her, you don't have to whip her 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, but every time you meet. As soon as you let down your guard, as soon as you lose once, she's won for good. And eventually, we all got to lose. Nobody can help that. The late, great Mitch Hedberg also put it well. The thing about tennis is, no matter how much I play, I'll never be as good as a wall. I played a wall once. They're fucking relentless. So once it's on, dig in. Dance with the devil. If staying away isn't feasible, sometimes there are ways you can work it out. Per Robert Hare, occasionally, however, psychopaths become temporary partners in crime. Generally, one member of the pair is a talker who gets his or her way through charm, deceit, and manipulation, whereas the other is a doer who prefers direct action, intimidation, and force. As long as their interests are complementary, they make a formidable pair. If you do decide to team up, look for someone with complementary personality traits and avoid getting into direct competition over the details. Stay focused on the broader objective, and try not to pick a fight. Well, that was a short bit of bedtime reading. That's because this whole enterprise is ill-advised. Sociopath on sociopath is almost always a bad scene. It might be fun to cat and mouse with one another for a while, and it can be invigorating to spar with a worthy enemy, but understand that the conflict will only move in one direction: escalation. All humans are better at escalating than de-escalating. But you're exceptionally so. This will not end well. If you're bored picking off weak losers and find yourself tempted to seek out a proper duel, remember to be careful what you wish for.